You know that moment when everything just breaks? The job falls through, the relationship ends, the plans you had for your life suddenly looks like a big fat joke. You are lying on the floor at 2 a.m., panicking, wondering, how did I even get here? Yes, that moment, the one where everything gets stripped away and you are left staring at a version of yourself you barely recognize. The rock bottom, the abyss, depths of despair. They call it rock bottom like it's a bad thing, like you messed up. In this video, we are going to flip the script. What if the rock bottom is less of a breakdown and more of a breakthrough? What if that collapse was exactly what you needed? We will talk about why this moment isn't the end, but actually the most real, powerful beginning you will ever experience. We will break down the psychology of collapse, what rock bottom teaches you that success never could, and how to rebuild yourself from ashes. And if you ever had a rock bottom moment, drop a comment below. Seriously, your story might help someone feel less alone because no one ever talk about this stuff in a real way. So stay with me. Let's go to the lowest together. I didn't know what rock bottom felt like until the week my whole life cracked open. I got the worst news of my life. Even after patiently waiting for my chance, I didn't make it through. And just when I thought I would call my boyfriend to cry about it, he was gone. No text, no call, no explanation. He disappeared the moment I needed him the most. That week broke me, not just emotionally but identity wise. I wasn't the higher achiever or the taken girl anymore. I wasn't the strongest one people leaned on. I was just there, alone, panicking in my bedroom with too much silence and too many thoughts. I just had 40 days to figure out my job situation with a good amount of panic attacks and no one to turn to. And here is what I learned from that. Collapse doesn't have to be a failure unless you label it as one. It could be your soul saying, this version of you isn't the one you were manifesting. We don't break down because we are weak. We break down because we have been holding up too much that was never ours to carry. Relationships that weren't safe, expectations we never chose, jobs that didn't value us, and when life strips it all away, it hurts like hell. But it also shows you the truth. Psychologists call it ego death. The version of you built on performance, approval, and pretending dissolves, and what's left is terrifying, but it's real. That pain, it's a portal. It's the moment life tears you to rebuild, not who you were, but who you actually are or would like to be. Looking back, I see it now. That collapse didn't destroy me, it introduced me to me. And I have seen it in others too. Friends, strangers, people who have hit rock bottom and came back with more honesty, peace, more self-respect than they ever thought was possible. You are not alone in this. There is a whole quiet community of rebuilders out there. So, if your life feels like it's falling apart right now, it's not the end. It's the invitation you never knew you needed. Now, let's talk about what rock bottom teaches you that success story never could. Success teaches you how to win. Rock bottom teaches you why you were chasing the wrong thing to begin with. When everything falls apart, you stop performing, you stop curating, you stop chasing approval points, and for the first time, it forces you to hear the truth under the noise. Rock bottom teaches you who your real friends are, not the ones who hype you up when you're thriving, but the ones who stay when you are a mess, when your voice cracks, when you don't have the energy to respond, when you have got nothing to give but your presence. It teaches you about humility, how fragile we all are, and how much grace people deserve, even when who look fine. It shows you that the things you thought defined you, your job title, your relationship, your image, were never you. You start to see value in things that aren't shiny. A slow morning, a deep breath, a conversation where you don't have to pretend. When you are at your lowest, you stop asking, how do I look? And start asking, what do I need? That's where healing begins. There is also something else. You build resilience that no job degree or highlight reel could offer. In fact, psychologists have found that people who go through emotional adversity tend to develop higher levels of empathy, purpose, and inner strength compared to those who never struggle. Success teaches you how to play the game, rock bottom teaches you which games aren't worth playing. There is a deep wisdom that comes from surrender. When you stop fighting the fall, you find out what can hold you. And if you listen closely, you will notice something starts to shift. You don't want your old life back. You want something deeper, more honest, more you. You become the version of yourself that isn't afraid to be seen, and strangely, you become stronger. Not because you bounced back fast, but because you stayed in the dark long enough to let it teach you. And the best part, you finally meet the version of you that doesn't chase, they choose. They don't pretend, they present. And you start to attract people who feel like oxygen, not performance. Because now you know you don't need to be perfect, you need to be powerful, and you just need to be real. Now, let's talk about how to grow from rock bottom, not just survive, but build something solid slowly and for real. So, now what? You have hit the rock bottom, you're sitting in the rubble, and nothing feels stable. Everything feels too loud or too quiet, and honestly, you just want it to be over. But survival doesn't look like what social says it does. It doesn't mean bouncing back overnight. It doesn't mean glow up montages or revenge bodies. Surviving rock bottom starts with something simpler, softer, and more honest. First, let yourself grieve what you lost. Grieve who you thought you were. Grieve the version of your life that didn't go the way you planned. If you skip this step, the pain just buries itself deeper. Second, get radically honest with yourself. What hurt? What do you actually need right now? Not what looks productive. What actually soothes you. Screaming into a pillow, lying in bed, and not pretending you're okay. That's not weakness. That's emotional intelligence. Third, anchor into micro movements. You won't rebuild your life in a day, but you can drink water, shower, go outside for 10 minutes. Each small act is a tiny vote for your survival. Do them enough and you begin to shift. Fourth, say it out loud to a friend, a therapist, or yourself. Speak what you're going through. It's shockingly universal. When you share your truth, you stop being alone in it. Fifth, let it change you. This part is scary. You will have to let go of parts of yourself that were performative. You might outgrow people, lose things you thought you would always keep. But growth isn't about adding more, it's about becoming less of what you are not. And finally, rebuild with intention. Not to prove something, not to flex on your ex, but because your life deserves to reflect your truth. Try things you have never tried. Say no without guilt. Set boundaries that make your peace louder than other people's opinions. Healing doesn't look like sunshine and crystal baths. It looks like crying mid-coffee, laughing an hour later, and going to bed proudly because you made it through the day. It looks like learning to love the unfiltered version of you. Next, we are closing it all out with a message you were probably never told, but absolutely need to hear. If no one's told you this yet, this version of you, raw, uncertain, in process, this is what growth actually looks like. Not perfect, not polished, but real. We started this video in wreckage, laid off, ghosted, lost. You were not just grieving outcomes, you were grieving identities. The you that played small, the you that clung to people who couldn't show up, the you that thought stability meant safety. But what if collapse wasn't the chaos? What if it was clarity? Because here is what no one tells you. Rock bottom is honest. It burns away the fake, and what's left is you, the real one. The one who has been whispering under all the noise all along. And yeah, healing is awkward. Some days you will grow, some days you will cry in Target's parking lot. Both are valid and both are healing. So be proud of yourself. Not because you are fixed, but because you showed up to your own life, to your own pain, and to your own becoming. And if this video cracked something open, if it made you breathe a little deeper, then maybe you are ready to stop pretending you are okay and start building a life where you actually are. Subscribe, like, and share this with someone who needs it. Comment below what's one thing rock bottom taught you. Let's create a space where truth gets louder than shame. Your story might be the light someone else is waiting for. You are a true superhero because you are rebuilding from your ashes. And I'm proud of you.